Peace and blessings, all my good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Okay, all my good people. This episode, I know I spoke to you guys on my live show this morning. I was letting you guys know about, how the banks are taking over and pushing small businesses out the way. They're opening their cafes, and there's a lot of things going on business-wise and entrepreneur-wise that's holding a lot of people back. So I just wanted to get this video to you guys. It has a lot of jewels in it, a lot of great conversations. You guys could have some understanding and know that, things are going a little different, and the more you get this information, the more you make a better move forward and knowing what to do. Okay, so thank you for everybody that's been supporting the videos, liking and sharing them, and don't forget to subscribe, you guys. Love y'all, and I'll catch y'all later. Let's get it.
So this company called Blank Street Coffee has raised about $70 million and is opening up stores rapidly in New York City. Let's take a look at what's going on here. It was started by two NYU guys who were basically like, hey, coffee's kind of expensive in the city. What if we could make it cheaper? What if we could automate some of the process? And so they started off with some of these coffee carts. They caught the attention of a ton of investors and now are expanding quite quickly. As you can tell by their branding, they're going for a very minimal, plain look, which was kind of the aesthetic style that maybe resonated 5-10 years ago, but now kind of feels soulless and devoid of character. I mean, it's in the name. One of the core tenets of Blank Street Coffee is that the coffee is going to be okay, but they have these fancy, expensive automated machines that take out the work of the barista. And what a lot of New Yorkers are finding is that they are competing with their local coffee shops. Beloved brands like Joe Coffee, Cafe Grumpy, Think Coffee, and plenty of independently owned coffee shops. Also, as a side note, if I had $70 million to open coffee shops, you better believe they would look like Felix Roast & Co. Blank Street is not as cheap as your deli coffee, and certainly not as expensive as your local coffee roaster. So it sits somewhere in the middle, and they're kind of betting on your customer who maybe goes to Starbucks and is not visiting their local coffee retailers to come try out their coffee for a little bit cheaper. Full disclosure, I had one of their cappuccinos this morning, and it was not good. But anytime a company scales a large retail footprint so quickly, and especially when it's not embraced by their local community, and there's just a ton of venture financing behind it, kind of gives me WeWork vibes. Also, they're going to have to workshop this messaging. They're built around the idea that great coffee should be priced and located in a way that makes it part of your everyday. When quite literally, there's multiple coffee options on every block in New York City. Guys, your corporate cash grab is showing.
And this is one of the reasons why banks like Capital One and Chase are opening cafes. Because if you can get people to have a relationship like in a cafe where it's very kind of casual and not super transactional, they're just hanging out, that builds trust.
What?
And then that'll translate to them doing other things with the bank.
That's not how you build trust.
Hi, Chase Bank here. We've heard your general complaints about customer service and concerns about the market and economy. And in response, we've decided to expand all of our branches to include coffee shops. We listened, because that's what banks are missing. Coffee. Now you can have a $6 drip coffee while we charge you for your overdrawn account and take too long to deposit your check. Yeah, we put pennies in the coffee, because they're virtually worthless with inflation. And JP Morgan hated Lincoln. You want to withdraw money from your account? Well, we do coffee now. You'll have to contact your bank.
And that is where we begin tonight. It's a terrifying reality for the family who owns a cafe in Shoreline. Thank you for joining us for the News at 10. I'm Hannah Kim.
And I'm Matthew Smith. Now, we do want to warn you that what you're about to hear could be triggering for some of our viewers. We've chosen to bleep out certain words, but we are sharing these recordings tonight to show you the reality that this local family is facing.
Why do we have to pretend that you're actual human beings? You're not.
These disturbing, extreme threats left on voicemail, some even threatening the lives of the owners and employees.
And with that, we welcome in Fox 13's Jennifer Lee. And Jennifer, I think what's more disturbing than anything here is who's on the other end of this phone call. In many cases, could be a high schooler.
Exactly. Many of them are young women who are either in their teens or their early 20s. The owner says her staff is like family to her, and she wants to shield them from such hateful incidents. Social justice, equality, and belonging. Black Coffee Northwest opened in October 2020. Owner Darnisha Weary says their mission has been to be a catalyst for change.
To use this platform of coffee to have really good conversations in our community, to bring people together, to ask the hard things, to educate our neighbors on what really does happen, what our experience is as Black people in this area.
But the Black-owned business in Shoreline has also experienced racially motivated attacks, break-ins, and vandalism.
This is happening on a regular basis. This is not like fake. This is real. This is real life.
Merrick Gaudet is a barista shift lead and says verbal attacks are coming through frequently over the phone.
We've been getting some voicemails and calls from racist people who want to bash just Black people in general and our business.
We want to warn you, the calls are deeply disturbing and racist. What you're about to listen to is very upsetting.
You worthless, inferior, subhuman animals. I'm sick of you charred skin monkey fur deviants. You're so subhuman. I hate you.
The employees answering the phone are young, like Gaudet, who is a 17-year-old high school student.
That's the part that fires me up more, because at the end of the day, they are young people that live and go to school here, and we see them every day.
You are enough. You are heard and you are seen. Weary says this is the message she's been sharing with her staff.
The only reason why people are mad is because you're doing something right. And so not to take it personal, although I know it affects them personally, because no one wants to hear that.
The owners say Black Coffee Northwest will continue to serve everyone in the community and stay true to its vision, which includes Grounded, a nonprofit in the same building providing a safe space for Black youth.
There's no reason to bash people for what they look like or
crazy,
who they
you guys.
are. Just being who you are is enough. And just be positive.
The owners say they plan on holding a staff meeting early next week to talk about the hateful phone calls, and then they'll likely report them to police. Back to you guys.
I ain't the one to say I told you so.
Crazy.
But Black folks try to tell y'all. We try to tell y'all how these racist white people work, but no, you were too busy thinking you was one of them. We try to tell y'all when they say make America great again, they're not talking about you. But you were too busy thinking, oh no, he talking about us. We're not one of y'all. It's y'all Negroes. We're not one of y'all. And now here we are. The whole Republican MAGA party gets together. And they talking about y'all. Talking about your contribution to the American culture is essentially garbage. And now you like clutching my pearls. We tried to tell you, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta touch the hot stove before you know it's hot. So welcome to orientation. Have a seat, get your packets out, cause you one of us.
One thing I noticed about Donald Trump's administration, all they want us to do is work. I know that's all they want us to do. They want us to just work. Donald Trump is setting up things, and he's taking away things, and he's canceling programs to the point to where we just have to work. They don't want us to have fun. They don't want us to live our lives outside of working. They're taking things away from these kids. They're taking away programs from kids, like Job Corps and all that type of stuff. Like, where are these kids gonna go? Like these after-school programs, where are these kids gonna go? How are these kids gonna learn? How are they gonna get help? Because Donald Trump failed to realize that some of these parents lack knowledge. They lack understanding. Some of these parents are just as dipsy as their kids. Some of these parents cannot comprehend just like their kids. So it's like, why is he taking away these programs? And to me, all I can see, all they want us to do is just work. They just want us to slave and work for them. They just want us to clock in, punch in, and build and construct and just sell their products. That's all they want us to do is just sell their products so they can make money, and while they ass sit at home and they vacation homes on the fucking beach, just living and just soaking in the fucking sun. And while we just slaving. That's all they want us to do. Why your ass ain't at work? This your business. This your company. Why you ain't at work? You know what I mean? I don't understand that, but yet they on the beach some goddamn where or on a golf court while we slaving. That's all they want us to do is just work. That's all they want us to do is goddamn work, and the money that we work for and we get is gone by the time we get paid. Already gone by the time it's direct deposit, it's gone. Especially if you have your money coming out. Especially if you have your bank account set up auto pay. If you got your account set up auto pay, your whole check is gone already. That's why I don't do that auto pay. I don't do that auto pay stuff. And it's like your whole check gone, and then you got to go back and work. You can't do nothing. You can't even provide for your family. You can't buy yourself clothes or nothing to eat or anything. You can't do nothing. All they want you to do is work. And then you got idiots who just agree with that, but they act like they just living the best life. They ain't living. They struggling still, just like we are. And they just voted this man in to help him make a way for him and his chumps. That's all y'all did. This man is making a way for us to slave while they gain and make money. That's it. I'm tired of that stuff.
As we're getting ChatGPT and technology and TikTok and all these social media streams and stuff like that, y'all are starting to see in the economy, they're making it harder for us to get things. You can barely buy a house right now. You can barely have a car because the cars are finna go up to the prices of the houses. Even if it's an old vehicle, I'm trying to tell y'all right now, if you have a car note, literally stick with it and ride it out. Do not try to trade in your car. Do not try to get anything expensive. Get a paid off vehicle, okay? Y'all need to start owning stuff, okay? Stop renting. Own. The more you rent, the more money you're losing. I'm trying to help y'all.
They hate us! 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 They don't care whether or not you can afford a home. They don't care whether or not you can afford health care. They literally do not care about you. They will always put short-term profits before long-term solutions, and they will always put short-term profits over people. Get it through your fucking heads. They want you to be so dependent, so destitute, that you have no choice but to continue on in this hamster wheel with no end in sight. Okay, I feel better now. Whew.
You know, I've been thinking about something. It's somewhat emotional for me, and I am as serious as a heart attack. Why is it that there are people that don't want other people to have anything? And I am using the term people loosely. Like, really don't want nobody to have anything. Especially if it's somebody that looks like me. It just really blows my mind how you have a minority of the whole population of the world that wants to control and rule and dominate everything. They want to be able to decide who lives and who dies, who can have a home and who can't, who can have money and who can't. And it's like, why? That's my big question. Why? See, my logic tells me that there is enough to go around for everyone. And that it would just be so much easier if we just let everybody have and everybody live. But yet these people that I speak of, their incessant need to dominate and be superior overrides pure logic. And at the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to. Because you cannot be superior unless there is someone that is inferior. As Syndrome said on The Incredibles, if everybody's super, then nobody's super. But for real, you all really don't want us to have nothing. And it does go beyond just this being done to people that look like me. We are all on this planet, and I don't know that we can get off of this planet. It is my belief that we were put here by something or someone greater than all of us. So why can't we just come together and support each other so that we all survive? Why is it that there is a small group of the inhabitants of this planet that want to rule, dominate, and control everything and gatekeep everything? And it doesn't make logical sense. Even if it's not taking anything away from you, you're not going to lose anything. You don't want me to have anything. You want to run us into the ground and the majority be slaves so you can live a higher, superior existence on this planet than everybody else. When if everything was equal, if everything was spread out equally, we could all be happy. We will all have more than enough. But no, that's too much like right. It's too much like right. That's why I said these people that think this way, they are not the same thing as me. You could not be the same type of being that I am. It just really blows my mind. I just be thinking like, they really don't want us to have nothing. Wow.
You can't expect people who live paycheck to paycheck to think about their future. Is that offensive? No, it's actually reality. When you are living paycheck to paycheck, you're trying to figure out how can I stabilize what's going on in my life right now. And every time I finally get clear and get some runway, something else pops up. There's always something happening. Financially, it's hard for you to think about how I'm going to set money aside. Those are more afterburner thoughts. How am I going to plan for kids' college? How am I going to buy the new clothes? When there's so much downward pressure on the need for my finances and where my resources have to go right now, it's impossible to think about your future when you're clogged by your present. It's consumed your whole realm of thinking. The reason why I say that is that's the importance and that's the piece that's going to help you begin to really make progress. You have to absolutely fix your present. Do I think differently about it? Probably no different than anybody else. I know it's tough living paycheck to paycheck. I know it's difficult to understand where I'm gonna get this money. But I also know that you are turning down subconsciously and indirectly opportunities that you have to work, to get yourself going. I also know that there are other things you can do. Will that impede your current lifestyle? Will that change how you have to do things? Yes, but you're not doing these things. And any decision you make to try to help solve today's problem is not a 10 or 12 year or 15 or 20 year or forever decision. It's not. What it is it's a solution that gets you the bandwidth that you really push your body in working hours and reading and studying and going from this place to that place, moving from one job to the next, to have the income to not only pay what you have, but now begin to put money away. And ever so, you should be more motivated to put the money away in an investment or savings account, pay off debt. You should be more motivated because of your dislike of how all the work that you're doing and how it robs you of the time that you have and the pressure it puts you under is doing to your current lifestyle. It's impossible to really think about your future and the things that are open to you when so much pressure and so much clutter of your financial resources is clogging up your present.
And like I said, I do understand it. So this is not about, pathologizing folks, because it's intelligent, adaptive behavior. When you're living with folks, that'll take you out for just being in the wrong proximity of them. All you have to do is go to Alabama and go to that lynching memorial, and you will see all the accounts of why the lynchings happened. 4,400. Those were the ones they had names for. And very often it was, startling a white woman, looking menacingly at someone white, having a picture of some. I mean, it was just unbelievable stuff. That, and again, living like that for so long, yeah, you become hyper vigilant. Yes, you have this heightened sense of concern, all of those things that happen. Not to mention, we can go into dietary things, all of the things that we did to survive. And we are in a situation where people say, oh no, you don't get to talk about it.
That's the part, right? And that's the part that we're living in right now. We look at the climate, the culture, this illusion of inclusion, right?
The illusion of it.
The illusion.
We bought it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that's ironic about this whole thing about segregation, right? Because when they told us, we just don't want y'all around. Just get out. We don't want you around. And so we did. And in Tulsa, we built a town. We owned the banks. We owned the businesses. We had our own schools, our own churches, our own hospitals. Our kids were doing parades down the street. We wasn't bothering you. We got away from you, and we prospered. And they went in, and they beat, burned, looted, and then bombed Tulsa. They said, we wanted you away, but we didn't want you to prosper.
We didn't want you to prosper.
And we bought the illusion of inclusion. Oh, no, come on. You know, we want everybody, because we want America has always survived on a slave labor force, whether that was enslaved individuals, whether that was undocumented individuals, or imprisoned individuals. We need a cheap labor force. And again, you can come in, and we thought, oh yeah, there's no segregation anymore. Oh, but you can't, you somehow can't rent in that area. Somehow your district isn't this district. I mean, let's just do, come on. That's the reality of what it has been. And with that illusion, we have never been able to gain the economic footing we did all by ourselves. And what I often say to black folks now, in this climate of extraordinary hate, is we did it before, and we can do it again.
Yeah.
And we had far less. Okay, we had far less to work with. And we had much greater tragedies confronting us. And I believe in that. I believe that we are the pupil of the eye, surrounded by a sea of white. But it is a pupil that contains the sight. It beholds what is before it. That's scriptural. And I believe that is what the greatest fear is what I see you. And I can see through you.
Yeah.
And we have to remind our children that they were born with the right to be treated with respect and integrity. They didn't have to earn it. Every human being was born with the right. And we need to infuse into them their intrinsic nobility, their intrinsic greatness. That's what we have to infuse in our children, regardless of what anyone else does. I'm not waiting for someone.
Okay, so what I took from this was a lot of banks, they're entering into the retail space, and it pushes small businesses out. And then you have certain businesses where you have to be careful of the things that you invest in. Even though, it might be a dream, you might have it see it a certain way, you have to really check the background on how other people did it and what as far as the market for it, what's going on, and really dissect everything, and you'll know how to be a smarter investor, because it's not just about going on an app and just plunking your money anywhere. It's about making the right steps and the right moves so you can see some ROI. And when it comes down to, there's a lot of, when it comes down to discrimination in business, it's always been a thing. It's always been there, whether it's a female versus male or black versus white or this versus that. Is going to be some type of discrimination in it. So with that in mind, you also have to be that much smarter and know what you're doing and know where you're investing your money. If not investing, then know how to be, a smarter entrepreneur, because a lot of people see other people doing things and it feels like everybody has brands, this and that, and then you jump into the space and realize it's not really what you think it is. And there's a lot of businesses due to AI right now that people are losing their jobs because AI makes it that much easier, especially in the financial department. It's definitely people taking other steps and looking other ways to earn some income. So I just wanted to bring this to you guys, let you know how the temperature of things can be and how it is probably going to be within the next few years to come. You guys let me know in the comment section how you feel about this one, and I'll get back to you guys. I'll I always comment back. Love you guys, and thank you for liking and sharing the videos. I appreciate you. I really do. Alright, until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you already know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now.